In case you're new here, I'm Ellie and this is Lou. 4 years ago, we purchased an abandoned homestead property in North Idaho and have been building an off-grid cabin ever since. Then, in July of 2024, we purchased a home on acreage also in North Idaho and have moved out there in hopes of creating a self-sufficient farm and homestead. Make sure to subscribe and follow along on our journey. In this video, we're transforming our old abandoned chicken coop into the perfect chicken palace for our homestead. And we're doing it on a budget, so we're reusing and repurposing as much as we can. Today's video brought to you by Vivor. So this is the old chicken coop. Previous owners, or two owners before, had chickens in, I think. It's what we got for right now. I think what I'm gonna do today is try to clean it. There's a lot of dust and just crap and literal crap. There's a lot of mouse shit in here. And then like I don't know if you can see it, some weeds started growing in here. So I think what I'm gonna do is try to clean this up as best I can. And then once I've got these shelves cleared off and the weeds pulled out, I think what I'm gonna do is go through and pick out all the rocks and then start shoveling. And I'd like to dig down. For sure what I would like to do is get a layer of pretty small opening chicken wire down and then maybe do like cinder blocks or something along the edge. And the reason I want to do that is so predators can't dig underneath. I'm gonna shop vac instead of just sweeping because I don't want the dust going up in the air. It's hailing. This reminds me a lot of growing up in Alaska. Alright, so I got all the mouse poop off. Tried to take out as much of the cobwebs and a lot of old bees nests in this thing. I think now I'm gonna start digging down and taking out the rocks and trying to level this. So thankfully our soil is rocky, but it's not so rocky that it's impossible to dig in. The goal of this was to dig down as far as I could so then we could lay chicken wire over it and then backfill it later. Next was working on the power line that runs underground from the tack room to the shop.
Turn it other way.
It gets weird because that's tapered, so it's 34 at the bottom, but 36 from wood to wood. Instead of installing a floor, we just ran chicken wire and stapled it all the way around the frame. Alright, so we've got our chicken wire down and stapled, and we got our ground stakes in. So now I get to take all the dirt that I took out and put it back in. But I'm not going to fill it as high because I did want to lower the floor. So now I get to shovel, and it looks like it's about to start pouring rain. So that should be fun. Honestly, I'm not even going to really show it. It's just me shoveling. You can use your imagination. Almost done shoveling. It was pretty boring. I didn't really film it. But I've got almost the whole pile that I dug out back in. And then I've just been shoveling, kind of leveling it. And then I'm using the tamper to kind of level it down. But the next steps are we have to replace the plastic on the outside, and then we just gotta kind of fill in some gaps in the structure itself, like especially in the corners where the walls meet. Oh, we have to rebuild the doors. I took the smaller door off already, and we're gonna have to rebuild, and then Also, the other thing, we gotta raise the thresholds of both those doors so that when I fill it in with the sawdust or the shavings or whatever I end up using, I can fill it deeper.
All right. Busy day today. Been working on the chicken coop. Now we got to get the chicken run set up. We're gonna set it obviously next to the coop, but we're gonna run it out into the tree area. So we're gonna tear out all this rickety old fence and open up our backyard a little bit. Do you smell the brisket? Finally managed to fit the tractor in the overhang. It was not an easy process. It's still a wreck back here, but kind of organized. At least enough to where I can park the tractor and I don't have to keep throwing a tarp over it.
Morning, North Idaho. Yesterday, we finished up the inside of the coop, mostly. We put chicken wire in and refilled it and tamped the dirt down. Let's go in here. Not too bad. We're ripping this fence down. This is here when we bought the place. We've been pulling it down bit by bit. There was like a hog pen there. We gotta clean that up too. This is gonna be the run for our egg-laying chickens, the ones we're gonna keep, the pets basically. And then over here, I started to do this a little bit last night, is gonna be the run where we put the meat chickens. We have broilers coming. Make quick work of that. There's so much room out here. Like getting rid of the fence makes it finally feel like less like a house with a backyard versus house on acreage. By removing this fence, we've given ourselves so much more room, and we were able to really level and work the dirt in the backyard, and hopefully we'll be able to expand it and work on some other projects down the line. Luke's clearing. I just finished digging out along the bottom. We gotta replace this plastic, so I dug this out so it'd be easier for Luke to replace it. Look how much room there is! Look! This is awesome. We should have done this a while ago. Anyways, it's exciting to see progress. Okay, so we ran to Sandpoint, picked up some clear plastic and a couple other things. And so now we're gonna replace the plastic on this, and birds will have a nice, clear, shiny window. And man, how did he get such high? Going in. That'll be for the next one. Previous plastic was vertical. Ours is gonna run sideways just because that's the length the sheets came in, and it was easier to do that than to cut them. So we'll probably put a piece of trim down there. So I'm gonna dig this out a little bit. We've been joking, we're gonna end up rebuilding this thing piece by piece. We're headed that way for sure. We keep saying this is just a temporary, you know, we'll build a nicer coop at some point, but I think both of us just know deep down this is gonna be the coop. That was terrible, but it worked.
Oh wait, we already trimmed.
Yeah, we already. So I wanted to give a quick little update on our 3 guineas. They're about probably 2.5 weeks old, if I had to guess. They're definitely getting anxious. Like, they're kind of an anxious bird. He's probably gonna poop on me, but that's okay. The little guy or girl. And like I said, they're kind of known to be an anxious bird. Like, we mainly got them because we want them to be the watchdogs for our flock. So guineas are usually the first ones to sound the alarm. The rest of our chickens aren't scheduled to arrive. Well, we're gonna pick them up, but we're not scheduled to get them till like mid-April, which is kind of late, but we waited. We were late ordering this year. Guineas can go out, they're called keats when they're babies. Usually, from what I've read, 6 to 8 weeks, and then they're ready to go outside. But from what I understand, guineas kind of just roam. So they'll jump up into trees at night if you don't train them to go into a coop. So we'll see how these guys go. Weather kind of stinks today, but we really got to get this done, so. Okay, throughout this process, we've been joking that we're just gonna end up rebuilding the entire chicken coop, like piece by piece. Well, I think we are. There was a piece of tin on this and it just didn't look great. So we pulled it off. We've been replacing it slowly with the fencing panels that we've been pulling off, explaining how we are gonna rebuild this thing side by side.
Basically, this is supposed to be a quick process.
So this is the finished side. It looks 10 times better. We looked at this side too. So while we still have light, we're gonna start setting up our chicken run.
Today's episode is brought to you by
Before.
Excited about this today. We have been buying from Vivor for years. Generators,
My red light boxes.
the red lights, yes, we absolutely love them. So when we decided we were gonna do chickens, we reached out and asked if they would send us a run, and they graciously said yes. So we're gonna set that up today and walk you through it. So this is I think 9 feet wide, 12 feet long, 6 feet tall chicken run. And it's the dome roof, not the pitched. We actually got 2. We bought the other one ourselves with our own money. And that's the pitch, so we're gonna kind of see which one we like better. It comes with everything you need. Chicken wire, sun cover, all the metal.
All right, so we got everything laid out. I think we have all the pieces. Some are labeled, some are not. Ultimately, it will go right here, but we're gonna build it on our lawn. A little easier. Just go vertical. So we picked a great day to do this. It's been raining on and off all day, and we thought we had a window of good weather, but it's raining again. So I guess if we can set this up in shitty conditions, you can set it up when the weather's good. But just a note, we talk a lot about wanting to buy things made in America, and this is not made in America. And I wish it was, but the price would probably be 5 times that. So the fact of the matter is, we're not millionaires. Sometimes you gotta buy the best product at the price point you can afford. Like this chicken coop, so far we've spent like 150 bucks on it, and that was updating a few things. This run's gonna be the most expensive part of the entire operation so far. Yeah, that's all I have to say. When you're homesteading on a budget, you work with what you got. That's where Vivor comes in. There'll be 3 guineas in that box. Great day to do this. Door progress, it's pretty straightforward. Forget IKEA. The real test of your marriage is when you put together a
Awesome chicken coop. You want it to open in or out?
We're excited to partner with Vivor on this project because they offer exactly the kind of gear we need out here. This chicken run is built tough, with a galvanized steel frame, secure mesh sides, and a weatherproof cover to handle our unpredictable North Idaho weather. It was easy to set up, and it gives our animals a safe, comfortable space to roam. Vevor has a huge range of products for homesteaders like us, and that's why we're happy to work with them. They've got practical, affordable solutions for just about everything we do. If you're interested in this chicken run and want to see other Vevor products, check the link in our description. So remember, we are doing this on a budget, so we salvaged all of the wood fence pieces and we used them to build a new wall for our chicken coop, and we actually used it to build a new door as well.
Alright, we are on day 2 with these socks. I know that sounds gross, but I just kind of want to see how well they hold up to multiple days in my stinky feet. So far, no odor detected. They are super comfortable. See on the bottom, they have extra padding. They are about just under the knee height, and they did not fall down at all yesterday after about 12 hours of working on the chicken coop. And the best part about them, made in the USA. Alright, so today I think I want to replace this little strip of roofing. You can see they just found some extra chunks, and so I want a little bit more of an overhang on the side. You got a spare sheet of red tin over there. See if I can swap that out. Also got to get that post pulled out, get the chicken run wrapped with the wire, cut a door into this side of the coop so we can access the chicken coop. Seems like a simple process. This might be an all-day event.
So the roof of the chicken coop is probably the one part of this project where we should have just ripped it all off and started over, but we didn't really have the time nor the resources, so we fixed the very jagged, sharp edge and kind of gave it a little more of an overhang to protect the siding, and eventually we will go back in and patch all of the holes on the roof.
Okay, relax, ladies. Alright, today we're getting the chicken coop dialed in. Still got some time before the chickens show up, but as you can tell, these little psychopaths have outgrown their tote. The guineas are going to become the guinea pigs for our new chicken coop. If anybody can find any weaknesses in there, it's going to be these little monsters. Hopefully, I can get the chicken coop done today. All I have to really do is the door. Get these guys a new home. They're growing up so fast. Anyways, that's the plan. Get the door done on the chicken coop and hopefully the run covered as well. So, alright, so here is the situation with the chicken door. Pretty sure this is designed to be on the outside of the building because it's got a light sensor that kind of tells it when to open and then close the ladies in and out. Problem is, we got this metal roofing on the side and it's got the ridges in it, which isn't a real big problem. I just need to cut a little more of the metal out and build a full frame for it. So when the door opens, it just rolls up. Right now, if it's flush, it's going to hit the ridges on the tin. I need to build it out a little bit if I want to put it on the outside, which I think that's where it's designed to be. Kind of want to keep it on the inside, just mount it right there, keep it out of the weather, and then I wouldn't have to build the frame on the outside. If I do put it on the outside, then I'm also going to have to build like a little overhang over it to keep the rain off, because Meow-a-Lago drains from the roof right kind of in that area. So I'd ideally like to put it on the inside, but I'm afraid that's going to mess with the sensors. Obviously it gets enough sun in here with these clear panels, so it'll be able to detect when it gets light out, but probably going to have some sort of light on the inside, I think. I'm not sure. I think if you keep a light, they lay year round or way more often. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna try it on the inside first, see how that works. If it doesn't work, then we'll just re-strategize and put it on the outside. But today I think I'm just gonna build this little frame out. I just gotta add a spot here, a spot down there, and mount it on the inside. And then obviously run the cable probably somewhere up there and out for the little solar panel. Let's win. The door is in. Solar panel is up. Everything clears. A little squeaky. So it works. Just got the solar panel flopped there for now. Doesn't really have a way to angle it, so it's just gonna hang. We'll see if it should get enough sun. I think I'm gonna try to get this thing covered. Shouldn't be terribly hard. It's gonna be cumbersome, pain in the butt, but it's gotta get done. Then we'll have the full coop and the whole run available for the guineas. Okie doke, well, it's done-ish. Still gotta do the door. This took much longer than I thought it was going to, and an obscene amount of zip ties. Definitely used more than I probably had to, but I got no excuses. This just got out of hand. Got a little trimming to do back there. Finish off the door, cut the hole for the entryway in there, and then the guineas have a new home, and they're out of my home. There's no way around it, but just attaching chicken wire to a structure is miserable no matter how you spin it. Still gotta get the bedding in. I'm checking to see if the door closes tonight. The instructions on this door are not good. They're barely English, and I have no idea what. There's a daylight and dusk sensor that opens and closes it, but it just gives you numbers and they don't tell you what those numbers mean. So I guess I just gotta do some trial and error.
Used to be a door here and it's gone. We've boarded it up, so Luke added this branch so we'll have something to roost on. These are our homemade nesting boxes. You can see the door is there, and it is an automatic door. We're still trying to figure out how to set it. Gotta get these out of here. And then I'm gonna dump some shavings. We might be putting I keep wanting to call them emus. They're not. The guineas out here soon. They're getting big and they're getting monstrous. This is why I had Luke build these extra steps, so I can really fill this full. So we picked up the rest of our chicks today. Our chicken coop is done. I'm gonna try to show you it before it gets too dark out. Here it is, the final product. And there's the new plastic. There's the siding we pulled. Remember, this was on the fence. So we're just reusing it, and I think it looks really cool. This is the Vivor Vever run, and it's done. It's ready to be used. It was pretty straightforward. Running the chicken wire sucked. It was really hard, and it doesn't open super smooth, but that is just because of the way we ran the chicken wire, and it's kind of catching up top here. It's just something to be aware of. It doesn't open super smooth, and remember, this is a budget-friendly chicken run. This is not high-tech and not expensive, so keep that in mind. But for us, it works great. And then, I don't know if you can see over there, what we did is we just cut a hole in the chicken wire, and Luke just bolted the chicken wire to the chicken run. So there's actually a door on the other side of that. I'll show you when I go in the coop, and it's an automatic door. As you can see the solar panel up there. Right now it's set to not open because the Keats are in there, the guineas, and we don't want them to go out into the run just yet. They're living in the chicken coop. That is it. And for our purposes, you know, beginner chicken, at least beginner for me, chicken owners, this is great. It's gonna work perfectly. Setup was somewhat easy, but you really can't beat the price on these things. That's why we liked it, and we wanted to test it out. Remember, the chicken coop was here. It just needed a lot of love, so Luke took the door off, rebuilt it using the repurposed fence wood, and I love how this turned out. And then he added some really nice hardware and a heavy duty door. We're gonna go in really quick. Oh, everybody calm down. There it is. Let's see if the camera can adjust. Here she is in all her glory. The guineas are somewhere over there. And we have our homemade nesting boxes here on level 2. There is the door. Like I said, right now the door is set to not open at all because we want the guineas to be in here until they're just a little bit older. And we need to teach them to come back into the coop at night. So there's a special way to do that. It just takes time. So there is one final thing we still have to do, but it can happen later. Can you see the holes in the roof? We have to go through and plug those. We will do that at a later time. Predators cannot get through those holes, so it's safe to put birds in here. It's a small coop. I'm a little nervous it's gonna be tight in here with 13, 16 birds, but I think it'll work. More birds would be nice in the winter months because it's not a heated coop. Their body heat will kind of help keep it warm. And yeah, that's it. So this is our DIY low budget coop build. And yeah, shout out to Vever for supplying us with that chicken run. It's gonna be really helpful, and let us know if you have any questions or comments about the build and we will do our best to answer them for you.